record before I forget. And I know I have pen and paper ready. And we're going to listen to Jamie today. So Jamie is a 3-star diamond, right, Jamie?
Yep.
Yeah. Are you for qualifying yet?
Not yet. I'm so close.
I know you're close. Oh, how exciting. And you've been coaching for 3 years or just over 3 years?
Just over 3 years.
Okay. And
yep, kind of just before Ainsley's first birthday. So yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Not only 3 years, but you are a single parent and you've done this like while raising teens. And when you first started, you worked, right?
I did. I was teaching still part-time and traffic, sorry. And I was also doing massage part-time. So
yes.
2 part-time jobs to make a full-time job basically. And then
totally.
And then coaching on the side. But that didn't actually last very long. So
yeah. Because you just kicked butt. So that's awesome. And now you've announced to the world that you're trying to have another one.
I have my first appointment at the fertility center is in 20 days.
Oh,
so 3 weeks from yesterday. Yeah, super exciting.
Yes, cool. Yeah. I'm so excited for you. Cool. Mm-hmm. So tonight Jamie's gonna go over the leadership ladder and all the kind of ins and outs on that. I think that it's not talked about very often yet. But I love the leadership ladder. I love to compare every month where I am that month compared to where I want to be the following month. And it's nice to have a different perspective. So my team has heard my perspective on it, and I wanted them to hear Jamie. And since you guys, the TIE call was canceled, I think we should all hear Jamie. So lucky you, Jamie. So I'm going to let you get started, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sorry, you did say you're recording, right? I have a couple of girls who...
Let me just double check, but yes, it's recording. Okay. Yes.
Super duper. Yes. I'm not usually so worried about that. I'm like, oh, can I please be on camera?
Oh, right.
I just have to be able to connect right now. So,
no problem.
Hi, everybody. As Jill said, I'm a 3-star diamond coach. I've been coaching for just over 3 years. I am actually one of Anita's personally sponsored coaches. And because we're talking about volume, it is important to say I actually fall at the top of her strong leg. So I get to benefit probably from a bunch of you guys. What I'm going to talk about today just shows how volume has an impact on you, how you can kind of play with your numbers a little bit. But what I want to talk about first is really stressing your team structure and how to get that really solid before you start worrying about your volume at all. I know, like, we're all in it to help people, and we're in it for a paycheck. We can say that we're not. We can say it wouldn't matter, but, guys, this is my income, so I'm in it for a paycheck. I love helping people. I think it's amazing that I can get paid for it. But I'm not going to lie and say, like, I don't do it for the money. I do. I definitely do. So it's important, right? And it's easy to get caught up in the, oh, but where can I play my volume so that I'm making the biggest paycheck, and then lose sight of keeping your rank really secure so that you're getting, right, the biggest payout on every one of those cycles, right? So first and foremost, you guys want to be building your rank super solid. So what does that mean, right? So Emerald rank, guys, they're set up the way that they are for a reason, right? So Emerald rank is 1 coach on each side. Ruby rank is 4 coaches on each side, with 1 on each side being an emerald, right? Balance. And then diamond is 4 coaches on each side, right? So 2 more coaches above and beyond ruby. So your first priority, your very first priority right out of the gates is bouncing back and forth, right? Right leg, left leg, right leg, left leg, right leg, left leg, until you're really solid in your diamondship. And solid in your diamondship does not mean having 8 coaches. It does not mean having 8 coaches. It doesn't mean having 8 active coaches, right? I don't consider a diamond on my team to be a solid diamond until they have a backup emerald on each leg. Okay, like, so 4 coaches, 1 emerald, and then an extra coach, so 5 on each leg, and one of those being an emerald as well. So at least 10 coaches and at least 4 emeralds before your rank is really solid, because we've all seen it happen. If you've been a coach for any amount of time, you've started building your network at all, they go inactive. Coaches go inactive all the time. I'm going to share my screen later. You'll see I have 7 coaches projected to be inactive right now. So you want to make sure that you have built in a cushion into your organization for those things to happen, so that when Wednesday night at 9 o'clock rolls around and you notice that somebody has gone inactive, you're not scrambling at the last minute to get somebody to order or to sign up another something somewhere or whatever, right? So by having that little bit of extra cushion, if one person goes inactive, you're not going to lose your rank, right? Your rank is still solid and you have a whole week to kind of buffer up those situations so that you're not in panic mode. So first and foremost, that's where you guys want to be as far as where you want to build right off the bat. Like, volume doesn't really play into it until you're a solid diamond, because at Emerald you're getting, for not to downplay the ranks because they are huge, like huge, but at Emerald you're only making $14, right? At Ruby you're making $16, and at Diamond you're making $18 a cycle. I try to lay that out to my coaches, and if they're cycling even 5 times, that's a $20 difference just because of one rank or another. So like when they drop rank, if they drop rank, like that's a huge cut, right? And they haven't lost volume. The volume is all still there. They're just getting paid less on it because they weren't paying attention, basically, right? And not that, like, I'm not saying anything bad about anybody who drops rank. It happens. It absolutely does. But if you have those like securities built into your organization, it's less likely to happen. And then you're not losing out on money just left on the table because of it. Make sense? Can we get nods? A few of them. Awesome. Okay. So because you guys don't want volume stuff and leadership ladder stuff, I always love when people are like moving around on their computer so they're no longer looking at the camera and still talking. But so here is, oh, I meant to screen share. Hang on, I'm coming back. I'm so computer savvy, guys. I forget stuff all the time. Oh, there's my share screen. So you'll see how crazy my desktop is. It's totally okay. I'm totally comfortable and confident in that. So there we go. Okay, so you'll see my volume. Okay, so my team volume, guys, 83.9, almost 84,000 points in volume. But I want to show you how very, very, very imbalanced it is. See this left leg volume here, this 79,000, right? That's because I'm at the top of Anita's strong leg. So when she has posted that, I don't know, infographic up a few times about why it's really important to place your spouse, right? And it will depend a little bit, but I don't know, guys. If you want to build them to create volume for yourself, that's one thing. If you want them to be able to take advantage of volume, that's another thing. So for me, like, I have my mom's coach account set up on my strong leg because at some point in time, I'm going to give that to my daughter. Like, it's going to pass along to her. Like, it's just sitting there accumulating volume because it's at the top of my strong leg now. So it just has this volume sitting in the strong leg so that when Ainsley wants to pick it up and run with it, she can, right? And she's already going to have that huge strong leg built to her benefit. So the other way to go with that, with placement with your spouse, is to put them in your weak leg. And this will depend. Like, mine is hugely imbalanced. If I had a spouse to place, I would absolutely place them in my second or in my weak leg, right? My second CBC is in my weak leg because that then drives volume. It increases my right leg volume to keep that growing, and it's never going to catch up. I'm never going to catch up to Anita's strong leg, never in a million years. But it helps to create more, right? More of that balance between the two legs. So I would have to get up to 40,000 points in volume in my right leg with where my left leg is right now to take full advantage of that, right? I'm at 10% of that. I feel pretty good about it. I'm good. Like, I cycle several times. It makes me pretty happy. But like you can see, there's a gigantic imbalance there. So it was very tempting to me, especially because I do this for my full-time income. It was very tempting for me to dump everybody into my left leg, right? Or into my right leg, into my weak leg, to just drive that volume through to take advantage of as many cycles as I possibly could. But here's the thing. I would rather make 41 cycles at $18 than twice that at $14, right? If I have to put all of that work in, right? That volume isn't now just coming from me. It's coming from a whole team of people accruing that for me. So that shows you a little bit about imbalance. Lots of imbalance for me. What this looks like over time. So oh man, my screen share thing keeps dropping down and getting in my way. So my volume. So this is pretty standard for me. I do about 5% in my weak leg of what is in my strong leg. So that's kind of what I expect and plan for my paychecks every week. Like, that's been the standard for me. I don't know why that did not work. But I want to show you carryover volume really quick. And this is why it's important to get if you have a spouse signed up, or you have a boyfriend, or you have somebody else's account that you are running, right, that you're responsible for, it's really, really important to get them to Emerald really, really fast. Because I don't know if you guys can read this number, but that's 4.7 million in carryover volume. Just millions of points of volume that I will never be, forever and ever it will be there that I can dip into it. So if I ever get over 80,000 points in volume, when I get over 80,000 points of volume in my weak leg, I'll start to get dipping into this, right? But I could show you my mom's account, right? And she's got all this carryover volume that's accumulating too, right? Because she would have, if she was an Emerald coach, she would have it. It would just all be collecting there, waiting for it to be taken advantage of, right? So that's really, really powerful stuff, guys. Like, hugely powerful, especially if you don't have this giant imbalance that I do. If you have more of a standard situation, like in my second CBC, because it's in my weak leg, my numbers are much more balanced, right? So it makes more sense to build evenly. It's like a more comfortable situation, but then I'm still gonna dump over into my weak leg there once I hit diamond in that account and it's solid, right? Makes sense? I can only see like two faces and a fan now, so I'm gonna go with that. Makes sense. I'm gonna pop over to the leadership ladder. So I can't show you my ranking because it's the first of the month, so it's all empty. It shows that I'm not anything. But I will have team leader. Is that, Jill, I'm sorry. Can you nod for me? Is that four coaches with Success Club points? Oh, never mind. It's right in front of me.
Okay, yeah, it would be 4. Yeah.
So I will be a team leader this next month. And guys, here's the funny part of that. Like, I blow these numbers all out of the water. But then my coaches with Success Club is not super awesome. But what the leadership ladder does, and why leadership ladder benchmarks. Why they're benchmarks is it shows that stability that you're creating in your team. So I think you can look at it kind of like where your goals are at. So for my team, my girls, the part that they're working towards is hitting that week leg volume, right? They want to see X amount of dollars every month or week or whatever, right? Which is this top number. But that means you need to be aiming for this in your week leg volume, right? How do you get week leg volume? Recruit coaches, sell challenge packs, encourage your coaches and motivate them and lead them to sell challenge packs. I'm just going to let that sit for a hot second. Recruit coaches, hit Success Club, have your coaches hit Success Club. You guys want to know how to hit Elite? Recruit coaches, hit Success Club, have your coaches hit Success Club, right? So this leadership ladder, it's not just business benchmarks, guys. This is a roadmap. If any of you have Elite on your radar, this is a roadmap to Elite. It absolutely 100% is. Because if you are getting into these benchmarks, you're getting into qualification towards Elite. You're building a foundation in your business that will get you towards Elite. Okay, so if you're a brand new coach and you want to be earning, never mind. If you're a team building coach, if you're a team, I do not have this memorized, but I'm super familiar with it. But if you're a newer coach and you are at Emerald, then you want to be having at least 200 points in your week leg volume. So if you're not hitting that, then you need to be looking at your organization. You need to be looking at what your coaches are doing. If you are an Emerald coach and you have a coach who is drinking Shakeology every month and they are selling one challenge pack, then you should have 200 points in your week leg volume, right? It should be there. You should have 200 points in your week leg volume. So you know that if you're not hitting that benchmark, then your coach is struggling. They're not hitting their benchmarks either, right? But it's really easy. It just lays it out for you, right? It just, all the numbers are right there and they're super, super simple to see, okay? This is a much bigger marker for the success of your business and where it's headed than what your rank is, 100%. Because I know coaches who make more money than me and less money than me that are at higher and lower ranks than me. Opposite, right? I know coaches that have a higher rank than me that make less money and coaches at a lower rank that make more money than me. And it's all just because of how their organization is laid out. So rank does not equal money. People are like, oh, you're 3-star, so how much do 3-star diamonds make? And I'm like, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way, right? Diamond coaches all make different amounts of money. It's never the same, right? There's no baseline amount, you hit this rank and you'll make this amount of money. But I can tell you, if you're having 5,000 points in your week leg volume, you're probably making $1,000 a month, right? Just based on team cycle bonus and probably what your rank is based on accruing that kind of volume. So if you have earning goals, and I think most of us do, most of us would like to see our business bring home X amount of dollars every week or every month, then you need to start looking at what's happening in your week leg volume once you have Diamond locked down, right? Because Diamond is your most important first step in creating your business and creating your structure. Because it's from Diamond, right, guys, that things start to grow exponentially. I made okay money at Diamond, okay, and my income took a gigantic leap at 1-star. Gigantic leap at 1-star. My first Diamond happened in my week leg, and that was enormous. Enormous. Okay? If that had happened in my strong leg instead, it wouldn't have had nearly the impact on my business that it did the way that it happened, right? But then she went 1-star, and she went 2-star, and then things really started to grow, and I wasn't doing anything different. My team was growing at the same steady pace, but now I had a leader on my team who was contributing to that week leg volume. And then I opened my second CBC up and it's in my week leg. So now I get to dump even more into that week leg volume. And now I get to make a difference impacting my own week leg through business that I'm driving through that second business center now. And that's probably way over a bunch of new coaches' heads, but 2-star is worth it. It makes a huge difference. Because if you're a 2-star, then you definitely have a diamond in your weak leg. You have to, right? And that's going to make a huge impact on your volume and on your income. So there's 23 in the chat, and I don't know how any of Rachel, text time when you add your mom. My mom isn't making any money right now. Like, she's just an active coach. I just keep her active. But even if I could just keep her account there and pick it up when I wanted to pass it off to Ainsley, and she would still sit in the position where she does, where in her first week of business, her strong leg volume would still be as huge as it is right now. Right? Even if I let her account go inactive with ordering, if that makes sense. All real serious peeps. Yes, correct, Laura. Yes, serious people, you want to put them in your weak leg, but you want to keep it balanced too, because you do want to build for rank, because rank is going to matter. Rank and volume go hand in hand. You don't build for rank or volume, guys, they follow each other, right? So don't dump everything into your weak leg, but you can certainly do a 2-to-1 ratio, right? Especially, like, it matters a bunch how big that imbalance is. Like, my imbalance is ginormous. It's huge, right? So for me, and I have 2 diamonds in my strong leg. So I do like 4 coaches in my weak leg. And actually they go in my second CBC right now. But I also balance into my weak leg to still build for rank in my first business center. So that's like a 4-to-1, right? So I will get my second CBC to diamond, and then it's going to sit, right? I'll do what I need to do to keep it going and growing, but I'm working to 5-star. Like, that's my goal. So I think the first thing that you need to do is set your definitive goal, right? Because it's easy to jump all over the place and be like, oh, but I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to put this one over here, and then I'm going to go that and put this, and it's really easy to bounce all over the place. So get really clear on what your goal is, and then every decision will be made for you, right? It won't be a question. Where do I put this person based on my goal? It should be super simple, right? Like, you look at your numbers and it should be super simple. Sorry, I'm going to scroll up. Build them to that. How does it work? Oh, answer that one.
Hey, Jamie. I was kind of answering them, but I did write some down.
Okay.
So a lot of people are wondering what you just talked about. How are you building up your right leg then? And I kind of wanted to touch base on that, if you don't mind. When I was brand new coach, I was totally misunderstood all of this. And I did build up, because I am at the top of Anita's weak leg. So my volume is like 2 million. And so I was building up my right leg. Well, then I got a ton of really strong coaches on my right leg and none on my left leg. So I'm a 1-star diamond. And I could easily be like, have 5-star or 5 diamonds in one leg and nothing in the other. And I would only be a 1-star diamond. So there's another top coach that I know that did the same thing. And for a long time, she was just a 2-star diamond, even though she had like 8 diamonds. But it was stacked one leg. So you don't want to stack it too much. It would work against you if you stack it too much.
So I think 2-to-1 is a safe place to go with your strong, like, I feel it in my gut, they're going to be a good working coach. And then, no, you can never predict, right? Guys, I've had so many coaches, they're like, I'm so going to do this. I am in. I'm going diamond in 5 days. And then I never hear from them again. So yes, play your numbers and play your balance, but also know that you can never predict it. So don't, like, I have coaches that get so stressed out about where their next coach should go. Guys, I didn't pick where I put, so Alora was my first diamond. I didn't pick where she went. I was still building my diamond ship when Alora joined my team. I was still just bouncing back and forth. I got lucky, right? I got lucky that she happened to end up in my weak leg. So yes, you can look at your numbers, you can make calculated decisions, and just know that sometimes you just get lucky, right? Sometimes you can't predict. Sometimes that coach that's a coach and a half from Diamond quits on you all of a sudden. You're like, yeah, but I had laid out these other 8 coaches all based on that person doing something. Don't ever count on a coach being a rock star, right? It's great when they are, but don't ever like lay out your whole plan for that happening. 2 to 1. 2 to 1 is super safe and super conservative. If you're not, like, if you want to be riskier than that and do 3 to 1, awesome, go for it. But just from my own personal experience and what I've seen in coaching in 3 years and what I've seen on my team and in my own business, 2 to 1 is a really smart and safe ratio to go with. You can even do, if you're not super imbalanced, even doing a 1-to-1 ratio, like just keep going back and forth until you see like some things developing in your team, especially until you see some things developing in your team, guys. Because as you build to 5-star, it has to go back and forth, right? Like 2-star is 1 on each leg, and then 3-star goes wherever, 4-star goes wherever, but then 5-star you have to be 2 and 3. So it does matter. Like you do have to have that balance going in both legs. And that's kind of like Beachbody has that built in, right? They know that you need to build security and stability into your business instead of just dumping everything into one leg. Yeah? Because you'd way rather have powerful coaches building your legs for you than you doing that with discount coaches times a million. Make sense? Yeah? Okay. Any other questions?
Ashley had a good one
Yeah.
in the chat. Ashley says, does it matter if your upline isn't a diamond or maybe really isn't in it at all? Do you still build the same way?
Yes. You want to look at your volume numbers, because your volume numbers are going to dictate a lot. But again, until you're diamond, solid diamond, and have some coaches doing something, just keep going back and forth. Like just keep going back and forth, because you never know where those rock star coaches are going to come from.
Yeah, totally. Tammy said, did your rockstar coaches just know to start working the business, or did they reach out to you? How did that start?
Alora, I don't know if she's on this call or not, but she has shared it on her prep page, so I think it's probably fine. Alora ordered her challenge pack with 100% intent to return it. Alora was not a coach when she signed up. And then she rocked out the challenge group and she started acting like a coach. And then she kind of ran with it for a bit, but she started kind of like I did, like, yeah, I think so, and like grew a little bit, and then and then grew some more, and then we had a conversation about diamonds. And I said, but you can do it though. Like it's not as hard as everybody thinks. Diamond is not as hard. Everybody write this down. Diamond is not as hard as you think it is. Everybody thinks it's so hard, and then they do it and they're like, dang it, that was not hard at all. That was not hard at all. So guys, like, get that right out of your head. Diamond is not hard, and I'm talking to every single person on the call, you are capable of doing it. 100%. Anybody who's on this call can be a diamond coach. Just decide that you can, and then do the work to do it. The work, guys, vital behaviors. Do them every single day, and eventually you will get to diamond. It took me 11 months and some odd days. It took Alora the same amount of time. My other 2 diamonds, guys, they were coaches for almost a year before they even started building the business. I had no idea. One of the coaches, my second diamond referred people to me for almost 6 months. And then finally I said, hey, I'm not taking any more people. If you want them to get help, you are going to help them. And then she sat as a coach and sold challenge packs but didn't build her business for about, I don't know, like a year, forever. And now she's a 1-star diamond. Right? Now she's a 1-star diamond. My 3rd diamond, I yelled at her for a year. Why don't you become a coach? Why don't you become a coach? Coaching is amazing. You should be a coach. Why aren't you coaching? Friends with her since high school. And then she finally signed up, and then it took her, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 months before she decided that diamond was an actual possibility. Like, she decided. Guys, it's the same thing with all of them. They decided that it was possible for them, and then they went after it. Just made a choice, a decision, and they went after it. Not because of anything I said. I mean, I talk a ton of dreams and belief and like ownership of your business in my team calls, but I don't do it for them. I don't call them up every day and say, hey, so did you recruit anybody today? Hey, did you do this or that? Like, they just made a decision and they went after it for themselves because their why was big enough. Make your why really big and be honest about it. That's a whole nother call. I won't even start because that's a whole nother call. But yeah, anybody can be diamond. Anybody. And I had no idea. Like I said, I had no idea. Alora, we were friends for a really long time. We connected over cloth diapers. We were friends for a long time before she started. And as soon as she started in that challenge group, I'm like, she's going to be a rock star coach. I knew it. She didn't know it yet, but I knew it. And then once I convinced her that she could be a rock star coach, she was. Yeah.
Awesome. Are there any other questions? We have about 6.5 minutes. Laura says, "You rock, Jamie."
I get excited and then I feel like I talk so fast. I'm like, I don't even know if I make any sense to people.
No, you totally do. It's really refreshing to hear, actually. And Tammy says, thank you for inviting TIE to the call. Thank you, everybody, for getting on. This is fun. It's kind of a fun thing to talk about, and it's exciting because it's business building. And we all hear about the vital behaviors every day. But this is a little bit different. This is when you get to use a little bit of like math skills, I guess, and be a little geeky about it. And it's kind of fun. So it's just kind of confusing too. But I will say, along with Alora, when I started, I had no intention of coaching. I literally told Anita, I am not going to coach. That is not my thing. And I was very blunt with her. And when I found out she was a coach, actually, I met her at a Turbo Kick class. I almost deleted her as a friend and blocked her because I was like, I don't want anything to do with that, you know? And, but then I did sign up. Well, first I bought a challenge pack, and then I wanted the discount. And then my friends started wanting some, and I was like, okay. And now I have retired from dental hygiene, and I'm doing this full time and love it. So you just never know. You have no idea who's going to make it and who's not, who's going to love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. So any other questions? Feel free to unmute yourself too if you have a question. Ashley,
do you think pro in your team pages of the leadership ladder? Bill, do you want to answer that one?
I haven't yet, and I need to. That's kind of why I wanted this call for my team tonight. We're learning more about it, and this was the focus, and I'm going to implement something, and I'm not sure what, but once I get it, I'll let you all know. I love implementing stuff. It just takes me a minute. And then Sheena asked how long I've coached. I've been a coach almost 3 years. But like I said, I started as discount. So I would say I started actively coaching like 2.5 years ago. I was a discount coach for about 6 months. And working full time as well. It's fun.
So fun.
Thank you, Shayna. Yes, it's really cool to say I'm a retired dental hygienist. Any other questions? No? This is a really good way to start out the month, guys. So your assignment, I'm giving you all an assignment, okay, is to go into your back office and look up this chart that Jamie shared with us and really dive into it and see what you can do to get to the next rung on your ladder, and talk to your coaches, try to inspire them. You can't really inspire, or you can't tell them what to do and make them do anything, but them hearing your excitement is what's really going to get them motivated to work, and seeing results when they start working. So definitely go into your back office and take a look at these things and set some goals for yourself and write those down, and share them with us if you want. We love
Bye.
goals.
If you're wondering, I had that leadership letter thing pulled up. So if you're wondering where to find it, so guys, on your homepage, this is here for a reason, right? These are the key things that you need to be looking at in your business. So your personal volume, your team volume, obviously your success club. I hate showing this on the first of the month. I'm like, I said, oh, wait, we've been going for, yeah, okay, never mind. And then your leadership ladder, right? So my last month's markers are here, right? Obviously, it's not going to show for this month, but if you go to this leadership ladder tab, and then down at the bottom, it just says click here for more information about this report. That's where that other page that I had up is located, if you were unfamiliar. But I check this every week. Like, this is part of my, like, I check my drill down, and I check my leadership ladder just to see kind of where I'm sitting at for the month, because I'm this close to organizational leader. So, like, I know 5-star will happen. Like, I know my rank will happen if I work on these benchmarks. Like, it just follows after each other, right? So if you guys are like overwhelmed by working for rank, just focus on the leadership ladder and rank will happen.
Agreed. We're going to get cut off here, but thank you everybody for coming on. This was a great call, and I will post the recording as soon as it comes up, okay? Have a good night.
Thanks for having me.